are live. So tonight, what we have planned is the processing party for what we did on January 4th. So on January 4th, we worked on getting 3 objects. One of the objects was the Rosette. The other object that we got was for the Cone Nebula, and then the Comet, which was 38P. Stefan Otermi, or Oterma, is what we got for the 3 objects. So, the big question everybody wants to know is, how did they turn out? I haven't even looked at them yet. That's crazy to even think about. I haven't even looked at them, haven't even planned on how I was going to do this tonight. I got them all here, I got everything all set, everything is ready to go, and you're actually going to watch this in live time. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go with the Rosette. Now we have lots and lots of images that we have here. What I'm going to do is we're going to pull this up. And we're going to go right into nebulosity. So this way you guys can see what nebulosity is. Alright, we're going to go to lock screen, you're going to go to nebulosity, boom, here we go. Alright, cool. So this is nebulosity. Okay, if you guys do not know what nebulosity is, what this is, it's a program that you can use to save different file formats. You can use it to debayer. So if anybody out there who knows what debayering is, what you're doing is you're squaring off the pixels. So an image will be taken, it's in black and white, and then what you can do is it'll actually make it in color. So I am, right now, we are getting, it's just transforming it here. So here's one image. Alright. And then I can work on the background here, so this way everybody can see it. That's more like it. Okay. Everybody can see that a little bit better? That's pretty good. Okay, so you can see it. So again, this was a 12-minute image. This was the very first image that we took that night. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just changing the histogram so you can start to see some of the actual information start to come through. And again, this is just one sub, so you can get an idea. And the stars looked really good that night, so we were rolling. We were doing really good. There we go. So then you can actually see it. What we're gonna do is, if you've ever used the CCD camera before, most CCD cameras you have to debayer the image to go from black and white to color. And what I do, especially with hydrogen alpha, is you want to get as much detail as possible. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to use the batch one-shot color, and I'm going to be using extract the red. Okay? So again, we're just going to do this image so you can see the difference between what a regular image is and extracting the red. You're going to notice there's going to be a big, big difference in detail. Ready? Okay. Now you see it got a lot brighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit darker, because when you extract the red, what it's doing is it's taking only the red channel on the hydrogen alpha filter, if that makes any sense. Okay? So now you're going to see a lot of detail come through here. Okay? There you go. So that's a lot of detail. That's one image of the Rosette. And you can even see, if you can see it carefully, I'm actually going to zoom it in here so you guys can really see it. And I'm going to move it over just a little bit here. You can actually start to see some of the detail right through here. Some of the lines. And again, this is really, really taking the histogram and just blowing it out so you can see the detail. So that is just one image, okay? So you get an idea. So we're going to undo it, okay? We're going to go back to regular, all right? And what we want to do is we want to batch it. So we want to take every single image that we had, that we took that night. So this way we're not doing each individual image, we're taking every single one of them. So we took 7 that night. All right. So now it's going to go real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just going to continuously keep going, and you're actually going to see them in real time. You're going to see how the image is getting darker, and it's just going through one by one by one. So now this is number 4. Okay? You see how the image got really big and then shrunk. It's getting big and then shrink, big, shrink. Because what it's doing is it's actually taking the pixels and actually combining them, and it's actually debayering the image. So it is done. It took all 6. Now, of course, the image got darker because it went up higher in the sky that night. So you can get an idea of what it looks like. But I'm going to change the histogram a little bit here. There we go. Alright. So we did all 6 of them. You got to see that in real time. It debayered it. You got to see it super real time, which is great. And of course, you got the histogram on the bottom left, so you can actually see the difference in how much detail. The more red you get on that histogram, the more detail, the more data that you get. So it's always good to get as much data as you possibly can, especially when you're getting hydrogen alpha. So now, we debayered the image. We got them to extract the red channel. So we're going to flip it back to Deep Sky Stacker. Well, bam! Going back to Deep Sky Stacker. Alright, so we got that pulled up. So now, we are going to open the files. We go to OSC, which is one-shot color extracting the red. Now, of course, if you have a monochrome camera, it's a little bit different. Monochrome, it's going to be in black and white. It's going to be much, much more sensitive than a one-shot color camera. I'm sure everybody knows that. I've beat it like a dead horse. But we got the 6, so we're going to open them up. Alright? Bam! All 6 of them. It's going to say OSC NGC 22 to 39. Alright, so now we have the 6 here. So now you're going to see this real time. So now you see the 6 images that are up. I split the screen, but it is the same thing, which is Deep Sky Stacker. If you're an astronomer, you've used Deep Sky Stacker, so you know exactly what it is. So we have the 6 that are pulled up. What you can do now is there's a histogram thing on the top right. And what I can do is you can actually see it real time. So you can actually change this here. Too much. Come on, a little bit to left. I'm not using a mouse, so this is a little difficult, but it's okay. A little bit more. That's good right there. So that'll be perfect right there. So now you can actually see them in real time. So now I can go, that's image 1, image 2, image 3. So you can see it's getting darker and darker, and that's fine. Image 4, image 5, and image 6. This is good in case if you get, you know, a blip in the guiding, whether it's, you know, a cloud, somebody shining a light, a car going through, anything. A plane going through, like I know when we did the cone, there was a plane and a satellite that went through on both of them. So you ditch that. You just get rid of it. Unless if you take a bunch of them, so you could probably use it, but it might show up in the final image. So, that doesn't matter. We got 6 of them. It's good. So then at that point, then what you do is you go through and you try to find the best one. Now this one looks to be pretty good. You can actually see, now I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Yeah, you should be able to. You should be able to see the, what they have is, it's like a magnifier on the top left. And what it does is when I move my mouse around, you can actually see the stars. and see if they're pinpoint or not. This one seems to be pretty pinpoint. I like this one. This one's not too bad. This one was number 3 that I took that night. Not too bad. What was number 2? Let me see what that one did. That one's even better. I like that one. So, next thing we're going to do is we are going to get the flat files. Now, I've already used the flat files on here, so I'm going to put those in. Alright, so then we're going to use the flat files. Open those up. And now if you notice at the bottom, you notice that it's gonna have a different picture, a different little icon at the bottom. Those are the flat files. So those are on there. So those are good. Alright. And then we're going to use offset bias frames. And again, different color. So now we have our bias, and we have our flat frames. Again, these are called calibration frames. And what they do is they subtract all the wonderful little things that happen in your camera as you're taking images, whether it be dust motes, or just little tiny hairs, or little like specks, stuff like that. And it also, with the flat frames, it eliminates that chromatic aberration, which is always good. So now, and we picked number 2 because we thought that that one was the best one. So now we're set, and then what I do is I just use a red box, what you're doing is you're just cropping it out, and now we're going to register the pictures. For some odd reason, it was set to color, which is really weird. I don't know why it did that. But now you're going to get a black and white image, and it's going to be a little bit better. I don't understand how that was possible. But we're good. So you can see the little icons on the bottom there. They went from color to black and white, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want it to be color because it's gonna seem distorted. So I don't want that. So we're gonna get black and white image. So it's just going through and just stacking them again, and then we'll get a perfect image. So just give it another minute. Okay. So now this should be about 15 times better. Yeah, now it's gonna be black and white. So now we should be in good shape. All right. Now again, keep in mind, this is a colored camera. So it's not going to be phenomenal. Keep in mind. And what I'm doing is I'm just bringing out the detail little by little. But not too much so that way the image gets blown out. Because that's what you don't want. It's kind of like when you overexpose a picture. Remember the Kodaks or the Polaroids? You don't want to overexpose it and make it look all grainy and look like junk. So you don't want that to happen. You could do that in post-processing. This is just looking at it so this way you can actually see the detail. That one's good. I like that one a lot. Alright, perfect. So now we're going to save it to file. Alright, so now Deep Sky Stacker is done. So you can actually see the detail. And you can actually see the values, and you can actually look at that and actually go from there. Now we're going to flip to Photoshop now. Just do one thing after another. Bam, bam, just like that. All these window captures. It's crazy! All the window captures! There it is. That's what I want. Well, bam! Okay, how does that look? Does that look good? Alright, so this is the Rosette. So this is the stacked image. So this is 6 12-minute exposures. So you can get an idea of what it looks like. Now, what we're going to do is the very first thing is we're going to create a copy. So this way I have a second copy. And we're going to use the gradient exterminator. See what that does. Makes it a lot better. So you can tell the difference. Makes it a little bit better. Okay. Now we're going to make the stars smaller. Okay, then we're going to use the space noise reduction, and of course you can actually tell the difference. I'm actually clicking it off and on, and you can actually tell the difference already of what it's looking like. And then we're going to use the space noise reduction. Alright, then we're going to make another copy here. Alright, and now we're going to enhance the DSO. So now it's done with that. And then the next thing we're going to do... And again, I can actually take that off and you can actually see the difference of what the image looks like compared to, you know, what it has. So... And then we can do... levels. Now again, I only did, I think it was 2 darks. So I didn't have enough dark frames and enough real good information on the actual calibration frames. But you can really see the detail through here. You can really see it, which is really, really awesome. I mean, it definitely is going to turn out really, really nice. Which is super, super awesome. And looking at this on the stream, it looks really good. And for a one-shot color camera, this is not bad. Oh, excuse me. So when you see that, then it's going to be, you know, naturally it's going to look a lot better because you have a monochrome camera. Now, again, like I've said before with processing, is I could spend 20 to 25 minutes on each image. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take a lot of time with these images. I just wanted to see the preliminary of what it would look like, and right now up to this point, I'm very happy. Very happy for what we got, and I'm gonna do a whole bunch of, like, you know, cutting layers and doing stuff behind the scenes later on, and then I will get up the finalized image on the mini-sode, which will be coming up later this week, ish, like Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, one of the 3 days.